The Pro Day's a big day here at Texas A&M, and you know, it's a culmination for a lot of these guys that have, you know, been a dream since a childhood dream. And we had 28 teams here represented from the NFL, 36, you know, representatives from those 28 teams. So it gives our players a chance to showcase their talents for the next level. You know, we've had a number of guys drafted, but we've also had a number of guys who have signed free agent contracts and you know, have done very, very well. And you know, some guys who are not high on the radar maybe right now that people are talking about have an opportunity to really display their skill set, and I thought it went well for them.
What kind of player are they getting with Trey Williams in the NFL?
You know, Trey is a guy who has tremendous quickness, tremendous feet. As you saw today, can catch the ball. You know, great burst, lateral quickness. Has been our kick returner since the first the first snap that I got here. Actually, he returned the opening kickoff against Florida. So, you know, he's a confident young man. Can play in the backfield, can catch the ball, and is a return guy. So, just a really, really good football player, and you know, he's a guy that will work at it, and just a quality young man.
How tough is it on Cedric to have to rely on film and not be able to show his stuff out here?
You know, I don't know how tough that is. You know, I think when he went to the combine, my you know, just talking with him and talking with a number of guys, that, you know, he checked out just fine. And you know, he's got, for some guys it could be detrimental, but in his case, he's got enough video over the last, you know, 3-4 years that people can see his growth, can see his potential. His measurables, I think what he had the second longest arm length at the combine. So, you know, his measurables are always going to be there, and he's got enough video that can show what he can do. So, yeah, that's a tough situation, but in his case, I think, you know, the video speaks for itself.
He's got a lot of versatility. What's his best position in the NFL? There's a lot of debate about that right now.
Well, I'm not an NFL coach, so, you know, I don't know what his best position is. I would, you know, he plays right and left. You know, he started off here playing guard. You know, so he's played every position for us except for center. So at the college level, he's a quality offensive lineman, one of the best ones in the country, and you know, how that translates to the next level, you know, I don't know. I think it depends on your scheme, what you want to do, but certainly he's talented enough to play a number of positions.
He's talked about the insurance policy you guys got for him and how that's going to pay off. Can you just talk about the decision to get that for him and talk him into coming back, and then how it is paying off for him?
Yeah, I think you know, the loss of value policy has been a big step for us at the collegiate level, for players, and not forcing their hand financially in some situations, and also giving them the ability, you know, to either earn their degree or get closer to a degree, and play their way into, you know, some guys are trying to play their way up into the top 10. And so for him in this situation, that loss of value policy made his decision not as stressful last year, and you know, that's something that I think it has been a real benefit, not just for him, but for a lot of young guys. In fact, that, you know, the decision's not based entirely on money. It's based on my ability to play, get a college degree, and also, you know, maybe advance my position in the draft. So I think it really kind of alleviates a little bit of the stress and pressure of making that decision, and you make it more based on, you know, your academic situation, your ability to play your way up and play in a college game.
Trey said you were supportive when he came to you. How do you handle something like that when a guy decides to return early? Do you kind of just weigh the pros?
Yeah, you know, we've got a process here that we go through. You know, fortunately, we've had a number of guys that that are juniors, and some of them have stayed. Like Jake and Cedric, some of them have moved on. You know, and Trey, his parents came and sat down, and we sit down, we do our own analysis. We've got guys that we know, and we talk with them about pros and cons and what they think, what their draftability is, projection-wise, and then we talk about strengths and weaknesses. And some of the things that we talked about in that meeting are things that are not going to change for him. He's a really good running back. He's a good kick returner. I don't think he's going to grow any. So you can't do much more than that. And the wear and tear on a running back, and to his the research that his dad had done and he had talked about, it's a pretty short-lived career in the NFL. And so he was eligible for the draft, and you look at the intangibles and what he can improve. He felt like those are things that those limitations he may not be able to improve much in a year, and where he was, what was going to be the difference between this year and next year. And Trey's been a really, really solid player for us. As I said, he's been on the field from the opening kickoff since I've been here, and that's one of those decisions that you sit in there and you think about all the things that have gone on since you sat in his living room to get him to come here. So what's best for him, and he'll be successful.
You've had a big run of offensive linemen here. Does that make it easier for you guys to recruit these linemen? Just say, look at all the first-round picks we've had.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I tell you, that's part of it, and then the other part of it too is the piece that you talked about. We've got another young man here who just basically went through the same thing in Jermaine Affetti, and where he's projected, where he was going to be. Is he a guard? Is he a right tackle? Is he a left tackle? He's a redshirt junior, and which means he's hadn't played a lot of football in games, played a couple of years, but it gives him an opportunity to mature and grow and really establish what he is at the next level. And so I think what we've done is we've been able to educate our players early and talk to them honestly about where they are in terms of wanting to try to be. One of the things we talk about here is trying to. You only get one chance to be in the top 10, and usually if that's the case, then unfortunately it's time to go. But if it's time to go, that means that you probably played pretty well here at Texas A&M. So that's all part of it, but certainly helps recruiting, but it also helps retention on the other end, or because I think we've been honest, with a guy like Jake Matthews, who did play his way into the top 10 and from a low first-round pick or a high second-round pick.
Coach, you talked about Cedric's versatility, but talk about Ben Compton's. Is he one of the most versatile players you've ever gotten to coach?
Yeah, he's he's done it all. I remember when I first got here watching video. The year before I got here, I looked up. I said, "Is that Ben Compton playing nose guard against Arkansas?" And he came over. He played center for us when Mike Matthews was hurt. Played some guard, H-back, could catch the ball. Got robbed of a touchdown against Arkansas. And he still won't forgive Ced for that for the legal motion. But he's a quality young man. From Friendswood, and a guy that has overcome a lot, I think, and just a tweener, and wanted to come out here and try to showcase where he is, and but he's also a guy that's really knowledgeable, really a guy that players respected, coaches respected, and I would say that there's a pretty good chance if he doesn't make it that you'll probably see him around here walking around and some coaching stuff. So I think the world of Ben Compton.
Anything else? All right, Coach. Thanks. Thank you. Yes,